Successful people do have limiting beliefs, they do have fears, but the difference is, despite the fear, they step forward, they move, they take aligned action. So how can we do this? I mean, how can I step into my higher self, the higher version of me who has everything that I desire? My name is Neda. I'm an empowerment coach and spiritual mentor. I help people break free from limitations, step into their power, and make their vision a reality. I want to take action. I know what I want. I know what my dream life looks like. I'm stuck. So this is what happens. You've done a lot of inner work, but there are things that are missing. What are those? 1, you're not taking aligned action. 2, belief that it is done. Manifestation is not just about sitting and wishing that things would appear out of thin air. I mean, that's possible. I'm not saying, I don't deny that. That has happened for me. I have had manifestations that has happened out of thin air just because I believed it so much, because my faith was so strong about it, and then it just happened without me taking any action. But that's different. Those are small manifestations. But when it comes to your dream life, when it comes to that big vision, you need to take aligned action. You need to change your identity. You need to become somebody else. You need to release limiting beliefs. You need to let go of fear. You need to take inspired action in spite of fear. You need to step into courage. This is a difference between successful people and people who are unsuccessful. Successful people do have limiting beliefs, they do have fears, but the difference is, despite the fear, they step forward, they move, they take aligned action. So how can we do this? I mean, how can I step into my higher self, the higher version of me who has everything that I desire? Because at this very moment, there's a version of you that is living your desired life. There's a version of you that is, whatever your dream is, sitting in that big mansion or driving that car, have a 7-8 figure business, traveling on private jets, or maybe your dream is to do philanthropy or any other dream that you have. That version of you is living that dream. And that reality already exists. The only thing you gotta do is to reach out, grab that reality. But how do you do that? By becoming your higher self, living and breathing as your higher self, the way she talks, walks, acts, what she says yes to, what she says no to, how she sets boundaries, everything that she does. You gotta step into that version of you. You gotta see what her habits are. What does she do every day? How does she think? How does she respond? Does she react? When someone steps on her boundaries, how does she respond? How does she love herself? How does she take care of her body? How does she take care of other people around her? How does she treat herself? How does she treat others? You gotta really get very specific about that, and then start embodying your higher self, becoming that version of you. It's so important to train your subconscious mind, because your limiting beliefs and fears and all the habits and all of that is in your subconscious mind. There is something that you can actually do at this very moment that starts training your mind, your subconscious mind, to become like the higher version of yourself. And you know what that is? So simple. When you want to do something and you suddenly say, I don't feel like it, later. The moment you say later, that's when you go one step backwards. That is when you get further away from that dream. That's when you get further away from becoming your higher self. And you will do everything, and I mean everything, to keep you there. From that dream house, from that money, from that relationship, from anything that you desire. So every time you want to do something, suddenly something comes into your mind and you say, oh, you know what? I don't feel like it. Let me do it later. Immediately say, nope, my higher self would not postpone this, will not put this off for later. I will do it right now. It could be as simple as making tea. Imagine you're sitting on the couch and you want tea, and you say, oh, you know what? I don't feel like it. I'm just gonna make tea later. Pause, immediately say nope, and get up. Make that tea. You put your cup on the table instead of putting it on the sink or the dishwasher. Immediately say, my higher self would put it in the sink or the dishwasher. These are really, really small wins. These are really, really small acts that trains your subconscious mind. Try it for 7 days, not even 7 days, even for a day. After a day, you will start feeling the effect. I mean, now there are certain things that are so much easier to do. Small things like putting the cup and then making the tea and putting your clothes on the hanger. I mean, these do sort of stack up. These are small wins. These are really important. But then when it comes to, let's say, you want to become an online coach. You wake up in the morning, you're like, oh, I don't know what to do. I don't feel like it. That's when you gotta open your laptop, because that is aligned action. You have to go against that resistance. I know you might think, oh, when it's resistance, you shouldn't push. There are two types of resistance. The one that you gotta really push for is where you don't feel like it and you know it's going to take you one step closer to your dream life, and you don't push. Maybe you push a little bit and then you get blocks. You're like, I can't do this. I'm not good enough. I'm not built for this. I'm gonna fail. People are gonna laugh at me. I'm not gonna do this. That's when you gotta stop those voices in your head. That's when you gotta push through those resistance. Do you know why that happens? That happens because you're stepping into a new identity, and it's scary for your subconscious mind. It's scary to come out of your comfort zone because you're stepping into the unknown, and stepping into the unknown is really scary because your subconscious, its job is to keep you safe. And right now, your subconscious is keeping you in your comfort zone. Even though your comfort zone can be very uncomfortable, it's still safe because that's what your subconscious knows. But you know what else is in your comfort zone? You feeling stuck, you not having enough money, maybe, not having a good relationship, not having a relationship at all, if that's your goal, not having that car, that business, not living your purpose. These are the rest of things that lives in your comfort zone. But outside of that, in the unknown, that's where magic happens. Yes, you've been working on your inner world for a very long time. You've processed a lot of trauma. You've done so many steps, and you've awakened spiritually to a point that you're ready to step out there and create your life, but you're stuck because you're not taking aligned action, and because you don't believe that it's possible for you. I mean, consciously you do, but subconsciously you don't. You cannot believe something truly from inside and not see the results on the outside, because everything starts from within, not from out there. If you want to change your life, you can't go out there and change your life. You have to change it from inside. Because what happens when you go out there and you want to change your life, you gotta push and push and push and push. Your container, your vessel, is not big enough to receive that dream, because your vessel is full of limiting beliefs and fears. Because we are energy, whatever energy we hold, we receive it on the outside. Whatever we give out, we receive, right? So you gotta first open up your vessel by overcoming your limiting beliefs, replacing them with empowered beliefs, and seeing fear as a separate energy, not as you. Because you're not your limiting beliefs, your fears. You are separated from all of that. These are just stories, these are just beliefs. And these limiting beliefs that are not even yours to begin with. They were programmed into your subconscious mind from childhood, and through repetition, they've become part of your subconscious mind. And of course, it requires repetition for them to be replaced with empowered beliefs. How do you reprogram your subconscious mind? Through repetition. By constantly feeding yourself with beliefs and taking action according to those beliefs. If you're afraid of judgment, if you're afraid of failure, let's say, for example, you want to start your business, you want to become a coach, you've done all of this spiritual work, you've done a lot of inner work, you have gained so much wisdom, and you're ready to share this with the world. Now suddenly, these voices of doubts, you're going to fail, nobody's going to listen to you, people are going to laugh at you, you've never started an online business, how are you going to do that? And then suddenly you stop, you freeze, you're like, okay, I can't do it. You know what, never mind, I'm not going to do it. Maybe you even start. That happened to me actually. A few years ago, sort of at the beginning of my spiritual journey, I was so excited that I wanted to share this with the world. I wanted to share my knowledge. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to do this. I spent 10 days building my website from zero. I had no knowledge of anything. I had to teach myself new skills. I had to learn how to use Canva. I had to learn how Instagram works in terms of, posting and the algorithm and all of that. I was pouring all this energy on strategy. These are good. These are really good actually, because they're going to come in handy. But you know what I was missing? I was missing the most important component here. And that was working on my inner self, on my mindset, on my energy. Because whatever you want to achieve in life, first is how much you shift your energy, how much you shift your identity, how much inner work you do. That's 80 to 90% of it. 10 or 20% is what you do on the outside. And let me tell you this, even for that, you have to give 100%. You have to work. But then when it's aligned, it's going to be so much easier. It's going to flow. Yes, you will hit some walls, and that's okay. All successful people do. But then they don't quit. They change direction. They learn from it. They change direction. This video is getting longer. I was literally planning to do 5, maximum 10 minutes. So the point I'm making here is, if you're stuck, you've done all this inner work, you're still feeling stuck, go back inwards, see what your limiting beliefs are. What is stopping you? What fear is stopping you? Why are you not taking aligned action? What is the belief that you're not taking aligned action? What will your higher self do? List it. Write it down. Okay, I am not taking action because I believe that I have no idea how to build a business. Okay, what is the solution? I'm gonna go online. I mean, there are so many information now online that you can access. Want to know how to use Canva, for example, for your business? Go on YouTube and you can learn it. I remember when I first started to use Canva, I would get frustrated so much. I had no idea how to use it, but now I can use it with my eyes closed. I didn't know how to build a website. Now I know. I didn't know how to create on Etsy. I didn't know how to create workbooks. Those things just didn't magically happen. I had to put the work. So you gotta put the work. When the work is aligned, when the action is aligned, you start having fun, you start enjoying it. Don't forget, manifestation is not everything falling on your lap just because you think you've healed. Because healing also is a spiral. Healing is not something that today you heal and it's done. It's a spiral, it's a journey. It's going to be for the rest of your life. But the way you deal with healing in every step is different because you've built the muscle for it. Find out what your limiting beliefs are. What is stopping you from going forward? What is the fear behind it? What would your higher self do? And start taking that action. Don't forget this. If I don't feel like it, I'll move anyway. After hearing all of this, think about it. Think about 3 or 5 things, 5 limiting beliefs that are stopping you from being unstuck, from stepping forward, from creating that dream vision. What is stopping you to step into your power? Once you know that, what do you need to do instead? What belief do you need to replace that belief with? And then write that down too, and start taking action. Aligned action. You would know what's aligned action. In another video, I'm gonna tell you the difference between forced action and aligned action. Let me know in the comments. What have you realized? What is keeping you stuck? What are the beliefs? And what can you replace them with? Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. And don't forget, if I don't feel like it, I'll move anyways.